What's good, y'all? Dr.Trehunna. You already know, just left my workout on a walk. Once again, ladies, make sure you are staying active during this holiday time, okay? It's very easy for you to gain a little bit more extra weight because you're just less active and you put in a little bit more food into your mouth around this time of year. So just make sure you're doing something so you can stay mentally sharp, and that's working out and you getting in the sun, okay? It also helps with, seasonal depression and all that stuff. But with that being said, I just want to make a quick video about why you need to earn your carbs. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So as Americans, there is something called the SAD diet, right? And that's what majority of us follow. We follow the standard American diet. And the standard American diet consists of a whole lot of highly processed foods, a whole lot of processed vegetable oils, right? High carb, high fat diets, right? And this basically causes a lot of metabolic dysfunction, and it basically dysregulates your mitochondria, okay? And this is once again, the energy powerhouse of your cells, okay? So today I'm gonna talk about why you need to earn your carbs and what you can do in order for you to stay metabolically healthy during this time of year, okay? So what do I mean by earning your carbs in the first place? So believe it or not, when you start eating, right, or when the human body is digesting food, it is looking for two things, okay? It is looking for omega-3s, which is fats, fatty acids, right? And then it's looking for essential amino acids, right? Which is what? Protein. Notice how I didn't say anything about carbs. Why? Because believe it or not, the human body can create its own carbs. And when I mean carbs, a lot of people don't know that carbs and sugar is the exact same thing. When the human body or your gut breaks down carbohydrates, it turns into glucose, okay? And then when the glucose is stored into your muscles or other parts of your body, such as the liver, it's called glycogen, right? But at the end of the day, it's glucose, okay? So when your body breaks it down to glucose, right, your body in itself can create its own source of glucose called gluconeogenesis, all right? And that is basically when your body is saying, okay, we need some energy real quick. That's why 9 times out of 10, you wake up in the morning, you're kind of spry, you feel kind of good. Because your body's basically released some cortisol in the system. And because cortisol is released in the system, it basically triggers your body to start gluconeogenesis. It's basically throwing glucose into your bloodstream so you can go ahead and start getting active, So your body has all the mechanisms in place for you to not need outside carbohydrates, okay? But what is the issue with our society nowadays? It is for the mere fact that we basically give our body so much carbohydrates that it starts to become insulin resistant, okay? Which means what? Basically, all the functionalities in your body starts working as properly as it is accustomed to or what it's supposed to do, okay? So basically your body, even though you're giving your body carbohydrates, right? And your gluconeogenesis is only supposed to happen sometimes. It's never supposed to happen all throughout the day. And if it starts to happen all throughout the day, that is what is called basically insulin resistance, okay? And you never want to be insulin resistant because that is basically the precursor from type 2 diabetes, okay? If you're insulin resistant, 9 times out of 10, last time you got checked out from a doctor, they said you was pre-diabetic, all right? So you want to do all the things to reverse that, but that's basically your body is receiving so much carbohydrates, or the main thing that you eat throughout the day is carbohydrates. And once again, not all carbohydrates is bad. It's the carbohydrates you like to eat. So what that mean by that? Processed carbohydrates. Nobody wakes up in the morning and is like, oh man, I would really love some spinach right now. Nah, what do we get? You get that banana nut bread from Starbucks, you know what I'm saying? Or you get in that Starbucks milkshake with the caramel and the fudge and the frappuccino, you know what I'm saying? You're not just getting a regular green tea or black coffee. You're always adding things inside of it to make it taste better. And 9 times out of 10, the main things what makes food taste better is either going to be carb-based, fat-based because it's very energy dense, and salt, okay? But here's the thing. Salt has 0 calories in it and it got 0 carbs in it, okay? But 9 times out of 10, all the processed foods has a lot of fat, carbs, and salt in it, okay? So the foods that the average person just get up and grab, right? The foods that are just ready for you, the convenient foods, are carb-based. And they're carb-based for a reason, because it has a whole lot of sugar in it. And because it has a whole lot of sugar in it, you are more likely to grab it, just while you're walking around or you're going throughout your day. And these are quick energy for your body, right? It's not sustainable energy for your body, but it's quick energy, okay? The human body likes quick energy. That's why when you wake, let's say like you stayed up late at night and you're watching TV, which is not good after like a certain time, especially like if it's after like 9 or 10 o'clock, because your body's receiving blue light, and this is throwing off your body's circadian rhythm. And that's basically making your body say, hey, it's still daytime. Okay, so if it's still daytime, we need energy to partake in throughout the day, right? So that's why a lot of people, because your body knows that it can get a little bit more energy in the ice cream that you taught it to receive versus some spinach, you never just wake, going out throughout the night and you're like, oh man, after a night of drink or whatever, man, I really would like some spinach and broccoli. That never happens, okay? It's always ice cream or cake or cookies like me. I'm a cookie man, all right? So ultimately, once again, carbs is not bad. It's just that the average person have the associations with carbs are bad. And you just need a better mindset and a framework to have carbs, okay? So here's what I want you to do so you can basically incorporate more carbs into your life, all right? So what I want you to do is every single day that you work out, you earn more carbs that day, okay? Why? So for instance, today I just worked out. Today I lifted weights. Then after my lifting weights, I did 30 minutes on the little arc trainer. All my clients know about the arc trainer if you're on my program. But I felt good enough and I wanted to get some vitamin D, which is good for insulin sensitivity. And it helps you go to sleep better if you are receiving sunlight throughout the day. So, and that helps lower your inflammation, long story short. But because I decided to work out today, my body's more insulin sensitive, which means what? It basically got rid of the glucose that was already inside the system. Once again, your body doesn't need outside sources of carbs. Your body bakes down glucose and it spurts it out first thing in the morning anyways. That's why you get up in the morning. That's why you don't need a breakfast muffin first thing in the morning, or, oh, you need some energy to help you go throughout your day that we was all taught, right? By who? The food industry, all right? But because I basically decided to work out, now my body's in a position where it kind of some sort needs a little bit more glucose, or it can start utilizing ketones, okay? Beta hydroxybutyrate. But if you're trying to build muscle, which I'm in the position where I'm trying to build muscle, you actually want a little bit more carbs, right? But once again, the main issue is a lot of people rely on carbs as their main source of macronutrients. Carbs should never be your main source of macronutrients unless you're trying to, guess what? Gain weight. Now, the average woman on my program, their main source of any type of macronutrients is carbs, and yet they're trying to reduce them. So as you can see, if you don't have an understanding of food, that's why, which is a lot of Americans, because we're not taught about nutrition in any source of school. Even if you went to get your doctorates, they only give you one nutrition course class, okay? Because nobody knows about food, when you go to the doctor and they say, yo, you're pre-diabetic, and you ask them, okay, what can I do? They can't give you a real answer, because they don't know themselves, all right? So that's where I basically fill the void at. But you need to basically, when you are more active, you can consume more carbs because your body can respond and utilize it better than the human body who is less active, more sedentary, and you're giving it a whole bunch of carbs. Because your body's gonna either do two things with carbs. It's gonna help your body create muscle, but if you're not utilizing muscles, it's not gonna help you create muscle. Or it's gonna use it as energy, or use it energy, reserve energy for later. And what does reserve energy mean? Body fat. That's what happens when you give it carbs. It's gonna basically help repair the muscle that you just basically worked out, or it's going to use it as a reserve energy for later, which is more body fat. So that's why a lot of people become insulin resistant, because a lot of their body, they have so much body fat on their body. Long story short, they start becoming to an obese state where their body's inflamed, and now your body's releasing glucose into a system all the time, okay? And that's the start for all chronic diseases. Cool? So hopefully y'all learned something today. Key points of this: earn your carbs. So if you do a cardio day, you can have a little bit more carbs than the day that you sit around the house watching Netflix. Now, if you worked out and then you did cardio just like I did today, that means low-key, whatever carb that you want, you can go ahead and have, okay? But a lot of people just say, oh, well, I went for a jog today, so that means I deserve a donut. You never want to have that methodology around food, because 9 times out of 10, the thing that you're tracking, how many calories you burn, such as a Fitbit or Apple Watch, is not as accurate as you think, okay? So you probably thought you burned 400 calories, but you really burnt 200 calories, but you ate a donut, which is 300 calories, which means what? You're in a net surplus of 100. That's how the average person gains weight throughout the holiday season, okay? That reset typical day is going to help you stay snatched all the time, not only summertime, okay? Focus on leafy greens, not the highly processed donuts and muffins and Starbucks, okay? Talk to y'all soon.